What's good, everybody? Out from the supercomputer, which seems to be my brain. But yeah, we just talk about maybe MDMA and my dog Zen and urine therapy, some next level shit, and basically how to navigate this realm. And you do this via your Zen. Come here. Sit. Zen. Nah. Sit. Wait a minute. Zen. Sit. Hey, big boy. Big boy. Zen. Sitz. Oops. Hello. Hello. Say hello to the camera. Is you good? Are you good? You do it good. It's like I observe everything. What's going on here? Yeah, and we also might talk about psychotherapy. Oops. I want to go down. Psychotherapy and basically balancing your brain. Why that is important. And by the way, I can tell you I've never done cocaine. What are you eating there? I've never done cocaine. I think I don't know, because I've never done it, I can tell, but from my point of view, it's way too expensive. And it's, like, if you don't get the pure stuff, like, I don't know if you should do it. Like with MDMA. Like, if you get into safer use, take, the most you might take is two bombs. One would be 120 milligrams, and one would be around 60. This is always how I did it. I did it with my girlfriend. It was always a great experience. And it can be very therapeutical for PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I thought, and I know, even through traumatic psychotherapy, or trauma therapy, I should say, taking medications from my psychiatrist and going through behavior therapy, that I definitely have gone through so traumatic phases. When I was a little boy, 14 years old, my dad was sending me to a guy from the Fremdenlegion. And I was full mode on there 2 weeks. We did sports between 6 to 8 hours a day. My doctor said that John should not do more than probably 2 hours. We're definitely overdoing that. He filled me up with alcohol. He left me at the forest with his dog in darkness, and then he was like, okay, you'll find the way home now. We were out sleeping in the woods, and he was giving me a very special brewed alcohol, which is called mead. So it's honey, and it's a liquor from honey. Vikings used to drink it. And he was also filling me up with alcohol. And was playing crazy things with me. Like, hold your nose like this and point with your finger to the floor and spin around it and walk straight. That's what he made me do. Like, overtraining to the extreme. And I was doing kickboxing mainly over there. And the most traumatic thing probably was that he was leaving me one day at his home, and it was night there. And then he showed me, and he was putting on TV. I was 14 years old, the Blair Witch Project, and I'm still not into horror movies. I don't like that shit. I mean, I would watch it, but it would take me a lot of effort to do it, and I would still not enjoy the shit. But all this shamanism and things, like all this wizardry and witchcraft, which came through me or came into me, like probably is happening because of that experience, because of that traumatic thing. So this is why I'm maybe getting into shrooms again, and I'm maybe getting into MDMA again to just reflect onto myself. I've never done shrooms on a party. I've never done MDMA on a party. From my point of view, because I always was reading the science behind it. I mean, it could be fun, right? It would be good maybe to socialize, but I'm always this guy, I do it on my own, Yeah. Any like any questions? Like, is this shit even real anymore? And people's minds is so fucked lately because they don't know about urine therapy. They have not cultivated their minds. They are not into fasting or sun gazing. And even if it's that, like then fasting becomes their god. Or look how fat my belly is. People don't know that diet means deity. So whatever you consume is the diet, is your deity, is your godhood, It's really, really easy, actually. And we can talk about clans and jacuzzas and how were they called? Peaky Blinders, gang wars, which gets into Freemasonry and magic and the mind, and basically that finance, yeah, it's all good, big boy. It's all good. That finance and politics and gang wars and violence and drug consumption, all of the shit goes hand in hand with each other. That's how it is. It's just how it is. That's just how it is. People be afraid of talking to themselves, People be afraid of talking to the black mirror. And without a product, people can't really talk to the camera, They can't do that. They can't be real. Because people be like, oh, look, I have this product. Look, I have that product. This product has this effect. And if you take this pill, you came out of this. And basically, it's alchemy. It's really easy. Once you know about urine therapy, everything becomes more of a joke, Becomes more... I would say it becomes more of a fluid picture. What you have in front of you is a mirror. It's like a painting, and you are the painter of it. You don't know because what you do with psychedelics, and especially with urine therapy, especially with sun gazing and fasting and cleaning up your diet, is that you become clearer to the reflection that you have in front of you. And also, you start to realize that what you have in front of you is your subconscious mind reflecting into yourself what you are at that certain moment. And people be like, yeah, your videos are not scripted, it's just a bunch of nonsense. No, it's not. It's actually really wise what I speak here. It's witchcraft, you know? And the actual witchcraft, the people were burned in the Middle Ages. We can even go a bit further. What the pharaohs did, what the kings did, and all these tribes, you know, they were using psychedelics. They were probably not using MDMA or LSD, but they were using opium, they were using shrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, they were using DMT, ayahuasca. You know, we can talk about nature is already psychedelic. Every plant has a psychedelic effect onto you, even tobacco, right? And what is cocaine? You know, it's a fucking leaf. But it's very far away from nature because it's manufactured and pulverized into a certain thing. This is what medicaments are actually. Everything that you have from the lab can be maybe a good product to your brain, but it's further away from nature. So that means that what you have there is a product which is basically coming from nature, but we as humans think we make it more special. So this is what happens to your brain. So you take the complete plant, which is already perfect. It has everything inside of it. So many different, you know, I can't even explain it. You're still under that vitamin spell or mineral spell, and people be like, oh, this has this vitamin, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But it comes from nature. It comes from nature. We specialize in certain things. We specialize in certain products. But the original thing is always the complete, you know? It's already perfect in front of you. That's what many people don't get. And this is why I tell you, no matter how fucked up your diet is, you can always be cool with Shivambakalpa at Tiran Therapy. And from my point of view, because I also follow some brothers and sisters online who are high on the urine, and they be like, oh, I only consume urine or I only consume fruits. I mean, that's cool, right? If you have that vibe, but certainly if we talk about cultivation, like you put your energy into the system, which is culture. And like Terence McKenna said, culture is not your friend. But what we do there is people come from that high diet then, and they be like, and this is what literally is happening. They come from that high diet and they can't integrate that into the things which are happening at the city. So what you have to do is, I don't tell you what to do, but what we as a culture, what we as humankind have to understand is that we have to integrate our experiences from the psychoactive substances, which are, funny enough, all foods we consume, into our cultivation energy for others, right? Because I am you, you are me, right? Isn't it like that? We're all one. But certainly you're not on my level. And maybe there's somebody out there who's even on a greater level than me. And I cherish them. I'll be like, hey, that's cool. I can learn something from these people. All right? But see, that's the really, like, I probably suffer from psychosis from everything I've consumed and everything I've watched and everything I was going through. And even watching when I was on my black belt training, so many videos of Zen Atman. So guess what happened? I became Zen Atman. But actually I'm John, right? And I behave a lot different in these videos than I behave in everyday life with others. But this is therapeutical to me because my brain starts to understand so many different things that I somehow maybe are just garbage and I have to get rid of it, right? The whole internet is a dumping ground. It's garbage land. And everybody is just speaking into the black dick, which is a mic. I don't speak into a black dick. I give it raw to you. If you can't hear my voice, listen closer to me. You'll be like, Jan, you talk too fast. I'm like, okay, then just your brain is probably maybe too slow. But the ones who are willing to listen, because these videos are not cut. They're not cut. I'm not the guy who's like, we have to cut this out, and we have to fill it with this, and we have to put that filter above it, because it's like this is a step away from what it actually is. You get that angle, you get that angel, and you should be cool with that. And probably your alchemical system can't be on my diet, which includes 365 beers and infinite cigarillos. No, but for real, like I probably have a beer in the evening and way too much tobacco throughout the day. But the cool thing with a kid imagination is that you can always wake up to another day and you do it completely different. And this is sobering up your brain even faster. And if you stay away from food sometimes, I tell you what, I tell you the toughest diet. You might hear about breatharianism. I tell you something which is even tougher than that. You'll tolerate the things which are presented to you that you might not like, but you still ingest them. That's the toughest diet. And like I said, this has something to do with tolerance, forbearance. Because you tolerate what you actually are presented with. You're like, okay, we can fix that. I ingest that, we're cool with that, but it's all right. Yeah, but to get back onto the MDMA thing, I might take MDMA in front of the camera and talk weird shit and cuddle my dog. Although I would like to just take MDMA with a good friend or with my girlfriend, and we would be like, oh, that's so good. Yeah, but this is the whole absurd thing with it, what people don't realize with the urine therapy thing. It's the ultimate key to freedom, actually. Which is also kind of stupid because you can't really make money out of it. And you start to slowly become a dropout out of society. But at the other hand, I'm like, oh, society is so cool, actually. I want to participate in it. So let's give me some cocaine and I can get my finance in check. But see, that's also the money thing with it, right? Like, if you have all the foods in front of you, right? You can eat whatever comes from nature. Like, the actual problem becomes that if you start to see the chain which is behind any product, do you like to support that? Do you like to participate in this game? But I certainly have to participate in it. But I certainly also I don't have to participate in it. Right? So that's the question. That's really the question. And you might be like, Jan, you suffer from mental illness and psychosis, and sometimes I think I'm the only one here and everything is just an illusion. So I literally organize the matrix the way I like to see it. But then I'm like, okay, Jan, get off that spiritual high horse and just enjoy whatever it is. And this one phrase I learned from Siri, the girl I visited in Sweden. Like, you never go anywhere. And this is when the mirroring becomes very much active. And sometimes I really have to overcome that because I have it too much. I have this mirroring way too much. But who the fuck cares what you have in front of you? In the black mirror, in actual reality, you can be in any kind of whatever realm, whatever planet, whatever environment. Because, like, you put your 2 feet onto Earth, and it really doesn't matter if you're in Germany, in Sweden, in Kosovo, in in Dubai, at the Seychelles, in New York, in South America, in Mexico, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Asia, in India. Really doesn't matter anymore, because you don't actually move anymore. You don't move anymore. But certainly we have these spacesuits and we walk in them. It's really bizarre. And people might ask, John, is it like you smoke some psychedelics there? Or how did you come up with this idea? And that's the actual thing. People are not really producing something new anymore. They listen to something and they speak about it. Just, I don't even know. Like, people produce something and then they be like, here, from my point of view, people don't produce anymore. Their mind is just not working. I don't know what they chase. Money, pussies, dicks. It's like, oh, okay. This is like, you want to go into a tunnel and you want to ejaculate onto whatever, and this is actually making you go forward. And certainly we have to have this, right? We have to have this idea of going somewhere, of doing an actual thing which is beneficial. So I probably should switch up my diet to a more plant-based, fruitarian style So I start to see more light again. But on the other hand, I'm like, this whole thing is like, I'm done with it. And sometimes, people might ask, Jan, are you suicidal? I'm like, no, what? Life is way too beautiful. But on the other hand, this whole thing is just like what to do, right? I should chase more finance and more money. And get my life in order, put more structure to it. Don't be so chaotic. Zen, what are you doing over there? My dog is just going nuts. And I should put more hashtags onto my videos. Like, I probably named this video hashtag urine therapy, hashtag MDMA. Hashtag how to get your life in order. Hashtag alchemy. Hashtag mirroring. Hashtag psychotherapy. Right? And also, like, what I seem to like to do is to fix outside of myself so many things. But if I look at my own apartment, it seems like a chaotic place. So I gotta fix my own place. I gotta fix my own apartment. And if you do, if you do psychedelics, your senses start to become more aware of things. Colors seem to be brightened. But funny enough, this is also what is happening when you do urine therapy. Or when you start to fast, And also, like, sometimes I just see it as a gigantic cosmic soup that we're in. Or like cosmic soup, but also consciousness soup. And labels seem to disappear, but at the same time, labels is all we got, right? We need these labels. We need something to chase or to present. But who wants to listen to John speaking nonsense for 30 minutes into his own analog video? It's an anal log. Gosh, do I really have to do that again? Like, I was doing it. I was doing my best to explain the actual thing, which is important right now, right here. And do people get it? I hope so. But also, what I had on my mind the last day was the term Rückwärtskultivierung. Like going back, actually, in cultivation, where I actually was. So getting better into sport, getting better into training, getting better with my diet, fixing these things, being more disciplined. And why am I choosing to have this much nonsense on my mind? Because probably not many people can handle the amount of pressure that I had in myself to release that type of energy. But I'm thankful for my psychotherapy, because I start to realize slowly I became this because I watched it. And also, I became this because I was going through so many traumatic things. And sometimes I'm like, are people real? Or do you see the same spirit in other people, which are actually the same spirit, all over the world, and you never go anywhere? Does it start to make sense? Like, you have a certain amount of spirits that you grew up with, and you see these types of spirits in many different reflections of yourself in different settings. Does it make sense? Who in the fucking world has that much of brilliancy in his or her brain? Nobody. And sometimes, like, the funny thing is, once I reached the crown chakra, Corona happened. And I was even having some videos that, like, urine therapy is the solution for the coronavirus. But no, I created the coronavirus. Because isn't it like that you are what you observe? But nobody tells you this. And if I take a look into other videos, how they are produced, it just seems to me that these people are not actually real. And by real, I like, certainly they seem to exist. But are they really existing? Or do they only exist? Or are they simply not on my level? Or maybe they are even above me. Then what are you doing there? Hmm? He's like, I sniff out nature. Or, do you think we need the police? But this gets me into Peaky Blinders and Yakuza and the mafia and politics and the finance system and how it actually works, and that basically it's controlled by gangs, and how the system actually works is it's magical, Any type of leader in the world does probably they do sex magic, they do black magic, they do blood magic. That's what they do. And they have to be protected because they can't protect themselves by themselves. And I'm honored and blessed because I certainly can protect myself, but I never had a fight. I was struggling spiritually and mentally with a lot of things, and I still do. But I think wars and violence are unnecessary and stupid. You don't need that. And like I said, the war on water is a joke. Because if you start to realize what urine therapy is, if you start to realize what tribes in the desert do, what tribes in all over the world actually do, they don't have a problem with water. It's sold to you in that way that you certainly have to donate onto some agency which is doing the work for you. Oh, we build up springs. We build up the schools for you. Yeah, fuck your springs and fuck your schools, because these people actually did know better than all of us in the freaking Europes did. Or in the Americas, but like people will be like, oh, I want to go to this place because I can make more money there, or I can make like I can bring you my political system. Yeah, but fuck your politics and like the original people said already, someday that these people will realize that they can't eat the paper money. I mean, certainly you can eat metals and papers, but I mean, it's a game, right? It's a game, and a lot of people through the coronavirus start to realize this, because call it cosmic energy or magic is coming more to this place, and people start to through the phones, through the black mirrors, start to become like, hey, okay, we can connect our imagination to pretty much anything that we have online. And like Telecom says, it's about connecting people. Was ist denn? What is going on? No. 9. Look at this dog. Yeah, that's you. And like I said, is it only me in the Matrix? And I actually care so much about the people, the young thugs, But is it my reality? I care a lot about my parents, about Thomas and Yvonne. I care about my sister, Laura. I care about my half-sister, Stella. I care about my girlfriend, Gona. I don't know what my relationship is anymore. Yeah, I think it's best to take MDMA with my dogs and because all your fucking dating apps and shit are stupid as fuck. Like, what are people actually looking for? Mainly, people are looking for, like, call me a sexist, but from my point of view, people on dating apps are looking to be fucked. That's what they look for. And this whole software thing with people meeting online and shit is just like what it is about. Zen, can you tell me that? Like, you think you find the love online. You think you find the love in another person. I would say that it's a reflection. It's a reflection, and you feel the love only, but only in yourself. This is where you feel it. And yes, certainly it can be fun, it can be fun to have love with another human. It can be fun to have sex. But actually, what you feel is yourself. Isn't it? You feel yourself. You look a video online and you feel yourself. You see, like, that's what I am. So is it about to consume less or to consume more? Or is it about to produce less or produce more? Or to just go out in nature and be like, okay, this is what it is.